What's up everybody, this is Hillbillies here, and welcome back to episode 58 of my Minecraft Let's Play series. Figured I'd start off in the end today, because I want to work on the end farm a little bit more. Or the Enderman Farm, I should say. So you can see I fixed the design here. I just put fences and left this bottom section open, since they can't actually spawn on top, and I don't think they teleport to the top of them either, but since the bottom half is open and visible, they can actually still get to them anyways. As well as, since last time I added the pressure plates that bring them all down into the center, and I'll go down and show you that right now, because you can see they're not actually going anywhere right now because I'm too close. So I basically just cleared out an area around the pistons and stuff. I changed it to stone too because I had thought it was that was messing up, but it was actually because I had where was it? It didn't seem to matter so much with this one. But it's this, you can't have like pistons in the corners, for example. I'll go down and show you the other one. Or I can't say you can't have pistons, you just can't have a block there. Very rarely you'll notice too, like Enderman will get stuck inside a block on the pressure plate, so it'll just be constantly extended until they teleport or something happens. But you can see that this corner block here now, there's no stone here, it's just the piston. Because what was happening is the block would push out, and then sometimes that one would get activated, and it would push the other block out, and then that block that was there would end up over there, and it's like, oh my god. So I took out the corner ones, and that kind of fixed that problem. It stopped pushing and having issues like that, which is really nice. And I did that just, I did the same design for the three areas that I had, for them actually falling in and being moved over, and you can see it works, drops them all the way to the bottom, and there are a lot of them, and I'm sure that's very loud, so I'm going to turn it down for a second. But yeah, it works really well. I can sit here, now I have the option, I can sit here and kill them like this if I want to, and get, XP and everything like that, and get all of the drops, of course, just rig hoppers and a chest, simple as that. I also have the option, I installed a kill chamber, just a piston extending that I can stand on, but it's also optional, so I could just turn it off. And then when I stand on the pressure plate, nothing happens until I hit the switch again, and then it continues. And you can see I laid out kind of the design of the room. And now you notice, though, there is the problem that, of course, Endermen are spawning in the room because the room is taller than 3. But I figured, it wouldn't look very good if the room was only 2 tall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the room, make it look nice and everything, and then I'm going to figure out where I can place dispensers in the ceiling that will drop water, and then it'll flood the whole area, and it'll only flood the area, for example, when I'm standing on the pressure plate. So then it'll make sure that the room cannot get filled up with Endermen, because they'll just teleport back into there. So I'm going to work on the room right now, actually, is kind of the basic thing, because I did just want to, since I did this work to set up the room and the design for it, I kind of went ahead and I got a bunch of materials. Like I got some purple wool. I'd like to use quartz and stuff in this room because I think it looks probably the nicest. So for a pathway, I am sticking with colors, like the Enderman. So, I'm going to use purple. I would have used, to be honest, actually, the glass up top. I wanted to use a black stained glass, but that's not a thing in this. So, kind of unfortunate, actually, because I would have really liked to have used that. It would have looked cool because then it'd be, I don't know, it just looks like the Enderman. But I find that the purple that's up there too, it kind of seems like you're looking through the eyes of the Enderman now, since they do have the purple eyes and everything. I don't know. It looks cool too. It matches with everything, and the colors, this goes really well. The purple I find with this. It's really, really nice. Okay, but I did this basically just because it kind of gives you a pathway to follow along. And of course, as I usually do, I want to have, the stairs and stuff on the side, so that's why I have that strip there. So I might do something like, oh, I need some pillar blocks, quartz. Where are they? Wait, chiseled quartz, pillar block. My bad. Okay, so let's just put these away for now, because my idea is I think that I'd like purple wool in those walls as well, in there, and this is just where I'm putting the pillars. Now I think stairs there and there would be good, like this. I think something like that. I've been planning this out in my head for a little while, so you guys can obviously, let me know what you think. But I think something like that could be pretty cool. It's nice and clean, and it stands out well. And I'm going to use, obviously I'll have lights in there, but I just don't have any with me at the moment. So I'm going to have to go back to the Guardian farm after as well, and I'm going to have to go and, farm for all the lights and stuff that I need for this place. Which I'm finding that, doing this kind of project, I did all the redstone earlier for the pistons that push them all down into the center here. And I found like it actually is surprising how much it can take to complete it all. Like I went through actually a lot of redstone doing that. Okay, oops, I need more pillars. I keep getting the chiseled one. I guess it doesn't really matter. I have actually lots of quartz now. Since all the work that I've been doing in the nether for the blaze farm, I've actually gotten lots and lots of stuff, which is really cool. Makes it a lot easier now. Okay, something like this. And I think this will end up looking nice. I don't know. This is kind of just, how I've designed it in my head, and I thought it would look interesting. It's something different. I haven't used the quartz. Well, I've used the quartz a little bit, but never for never as kind of the main piece, I think, other than maybe what building else did I use it in? Well, I did use it a lot on, I guess, the bone that I have out in the main area. I think that's probably one of the spots that I did use it the most. Oh, and it's so nice to actually have some this time. I'm always usually running out, but like I said, I did so much work for the blaze farm that I just ended up with tons of it. So I can always go back to the base if I do need more. I really am tired of these Endermen, though. I gotta set up that water thing, and I really hope that it works. Like, it doesn't just teleport them somewhere far away, or it'll just teleport them right to the top again. One of the two, I imagine. Like, as I don't think there's no areas around nearby that I can that they can teleport to, which is why, like, the tunnel. I think the tunnel getting here in the minecart, which I didn't actually show you guys, but this here, that takes me to where you spawn into the end on that like obsidian platform. And that tunnel, I probably will make it look nice, but I'm going to make sure that it's only too tall so that Enderman can't spawn in it, because I don't think that would be very good. Because then it'll reduce the spawning, and most of the entire end is, pretty much either lit up or it's water so that the Enderman can't spawn there. Obviously, if I stay too close to the spawn area, they will eventually teleport to where there's light and everything, but if I stay down here, the number of Enderman actually spawning down here is quite amazing. I'm really surprised. Like, just I've turned off the sound for now because they're really, really annoying. But you can see there's always loads of them. If I kill them, they'll pretty much come back right away. Oh, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted staircases. Because I'm thinking too, if I do that same thing up top, but I might use quartz half slabs for like here instead. I don't know how it'll look. We're gonna have to mess around with it a little bit and see. But is this all the walls now? Because I'd be curious. Yeah, see, like something like this I think would look alright. And I wonder about this, the floor there, if I'll have to change anything. I don't know. I might figure something out, or I might just leave it as the yellow because I'm getting rid of the yellow everywhere else, so it'll stand out a little bit better. I did bring lots of wool with me because I'm thinking, I want to have like, let's say the quartz, something like that, right? How would I do this now? I'm wondering. Because certain things I can't get rid of because there's like redstone on it, which is why that's kind of there. It's also so that I could have, what is it, did I want the wool around? I think I was going to put a strip of wool around the ceiling as well. I think that was what I wanted. I'm trying to remember everything I was designing in my head earlier, and then I was like, oh, well, I'll just try it now. And so I hope that you guys like this design. And hope you don't mind me setting up the farm, like, pretty much running now. It's just because it was easier to have that all finished and have the rest of it ready and whatnot, because it did take quite a while this morning to get all that set up, get all the redstone, run back and forth, and collect all the materials and everything over and over again. So that was, it was a lengthy process for sure. I think something like this, maybe. But then, see, that's the problem, is I can't really put the stairs there. If I do put anything. I'm not sure. Do I leave that like that or not? Just something like that. It's very simple. Maybe I could put pillars ceiling to floor there instead. Okay, yeah, let's try that. Okay, yeah, pillars there. Oh wait, did I bring more? I don't know if I actually brought any more. I didn't. Actually, you know what, guys? I've kind of been sitting here for like 10 minutes or so doing this now, so why don't you give me a little while, and maybe I can finish up this room, and I'll come up with some cool design for the ceiling. So I'll be back in a little while when I can actually get this thing finished up. Alright everybody, so I've pretty much finished off the look here, and this is what I come up with. At least this is the main kill area, as you see, surrounded by quartz. And I continued the design for the stairs and for the rest of the quartz as I had started with, and I just kind of continued that same pattern the whole way around and added the lip of stairs that come up like this, and then, you know, I made sure the floor here has like the color in the middle, and I got the sand or the end stone on the sides, and yeah, I added my dispensers up here for the water, which I'm still gonna add. Like, the problem is right now, ooh, I should probably fix that too. Of course, I was just doing some work messing around with some stuff, but basically one of the problems I'm having when that one goes, it washes away this, so I'm probably gonna have to either move it to a different spot or just put up something that when I stand on the pressure plate, which as you can see still works, so kills them, that it like kind of pops up a piston like right there, there, and there to block myself and that from water, and then I can do the same on this side, and the rest of it I don't have to worry about since there's nothing else that can be washed away by the water except for maybe the rail tracks, but that'll be fixed also so that I can have a button and everything, and it'll like automatically kick me out and everything, and it'll send me on my way. Since this is really only used to get in here, I did just change this up a little bit. I've left it 2.5 blocks tall, so you know that Enderman can't spawn in here. And as you can see, I kind of started doing the rest of the tunnel, and I'm just going to do the whole tunnel like this simple design, basically just the quartz with the purple. And I think that's good enough for that tunnel. And this area I'm pretty happy with too, and it's nice to have, you know, I'm going to have to mess around with the water a little bit, like I said, and just get the final pistons set up so that I can turn those on, or maybe so that I can, you know, move this stuff. Of course, like I said, I have to get rid of this one as well, and hope that it doesn't interfere. I don't think it'll interfere with anything. There we go. That's better. Now you don't see it in there, at least. So that's all fixed, and it does work really well. I'm really happy with it. I should wait till it disappears, but it's quite quick. Most of the time, there's lots of Endermen that are always falling, and I've got obviously all those, and I've got loads more here, and I've got more than I ever need. It's not so much a farm for experience, because like Endermen don't give you nearly the same amount of experience per se as like a Guardian, so I'm still going to hang out at the Guardian farm and get my experience that way. And of course I have to go to the Nether soon because, well, I pretty much ran out of all the quartz. All the quartz that I said that I had tons of, which I did because I managed to make this entire room. I just did not have enough to finish this hallway, which I had to finish this layer here. There's another step, and then the whole way up to the top. But I'll figure out what to do with the staircase areas and fix those up nice and everything. But I'd like you guys to let me know what you think, if this looks cool, if this is suitable for the Enderman and for the end. And the only other colors I would use is probably black or whatever to match with the Enderman, you know, the black and purple and everything. And I wanted to leave some of the end stone here just because we are in the end, and I think it looks pretty good like that, and I'm happy with it. And I didn't really change anything else. Everything else is basically still the same. I'm not sure about up here. Like, I think I will probably just leave this as is. You know, it's really only to get up and down, and this is kind of cool for a look. And you can see this is where I set up the system for activating the dispensers. It's all just activates all at the same time, and that's a simple system. Goes down through the floor here and down and under, and that's it. That's how it's activated. But like I said, I need something that activates pistons also at the same time. So, you know, I might go fix up that, and then at least this area is pretty much finalized. I have lights and stuff in the ceiling, of course, so it's a lot brighter in here than it was before. I still might add some here. I did a test. I don't have Silk Touch to remove it, but I did a test to see how bright a block is behind a staircase, and that's how bright it is. It's not very bright at all. Like, it shows light. I don't know if if you could check the numbers, if the brightness actually is out here or not, but it doesn't look very bright when you have it just like that. So I'm gonna, I'll leave it alone and until I can get Silk Touch, and then I'll take it out. But I might add some more lights or not. I don't know, but somewhere around here. Maybe I'll move them up to here. But I'd like to wait too and get your guys' opinions on everything and tell me what you think, if it's worth it. It's just a nice small kill chamber area, nothing too serious. It's really just for, ender pearls, and I'm gonna have more than I ever need. I don't really use them very much for the problem that, I'm wearing iron armor right now, and I do have a set of diamond armor that's almost all maxed out now that eventually I'm gonna use. But even with iron armor, it takes 2.5 hearts away every time you want to use it. So if you miss, it doesn't take long before you're down to, right now, 3 hearts. I shot 3 of them, and I'm down to 3 hearts. So it's not really it's not really great. I find like I think they should really nerf that or something, because it's not really great. You're trying to do stuff, maybe you know ender pearl around, and you can only throw a couple, and then you have to stand there and wait. Like it's so slow, the recovery time for the hearts, as you see. It's almost not worth it. You have to be very careful when you're throwing ender pearls. So I might start using them more. I will have to test and see if it's just like a fall damage thing. Like maybe if I switch all my weapon, or switch out all of my armor for something that has fall damage, then I'd be a lot better off. And I think this guy is still safe. To be honest, I haven't actually checked in a little bit. They once in a while actually seem to be able to get him, which is kind of annoying. But I can't tell. I don't think he's in there right now. So yeah, you see, that's why he was slowing down for such a long time. Because they somehow managed to kill him as they're falling into there, but there's nowhere they can spawn, and I don't understand how they're hitting him. I have a name tag, so he shouldn't despawn. There's no way they can actually access him. Like, yes, he's at their face level, but the problem is they're falling into the hole way before they even get there. Like, they shouldn't be able to walk out and then reach and hit him from up there. I don't know what's going on. I might have to block it off some more, but that's why it slows down, because there's no endermite there anymore to keep spawning. So the problem is I keep running out of like name tags and stuff, which I don't have many of, so I have to go fish or whatever. I wish you could make them. That would be a lot easier. So I'll have to go, get more name tags, stockpile them up, and leave them so that I don't run out. And then I want to go and work on the pressure plates or the pistons and stuff, just to keep the water away from myself while I am sitting there. I'd probably have to do the same sort of thing here at the Guardian Farm, because I find that I can't AFK anymore. For some reason, slimes have started spawning like often, and they always come down and kill me if I'm not paying attention. So I really have to set up some sort of like water system as well that either moves them out of the way or prevents them from going, or I don't know, something to just keep myself safe while I'm working. But that's something I'm going to work on for the next couple minutes, I think. And see how it turns out, see how well it works, and we can do a little bit of test on it maybe, and I'll show you guys the final results of the kill chamber for the Enderman Farm. Now I've got the Blaze Farm is set up and working, and the Enderman Farm is set up and working. The regular mob farm, that's just not working anymore. That's alright, since I have the two new ones. I would like to go and make the slime farm maybe next, but you guys let me know what you think. You give me some ideas of what you think would be a cool project to work on. I have the idea too that I could go work on that castle area, maybe do some cool outdoor buildings, a little bit of a project that would take a bit of a long time, but it could be really fun building like a big castle and then like a mini town within it and make it look all medieval and everything. So that's something else that's, it's always possible. But like I say, you guys let me know what you think. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and do the last little finishing touches on the farm. Alright everybody, I think I got everything sorted out that I need to. Basically, to start off, the first problem that I encountered is when you try and crush Endermen, most of the time, or not most of the time, some of the time, they will spawn away when they have like one heart left, and of course, the only place they can spawn is in this room, since it's 3 tall or more. So my solution was basically, I need water to come down from the ceiling and flood the area only while I am standing on the pressure plate with wanting to crush them, because otherwise if I hit them with like the sword and everything, they don't disappear, they don't go away, they don't do anything like that. Now the problem though is I'd have this pressure plate here, and then I'd touch it, and it would be activating water and it would be crushing them, and so I had to set up a lock. So I set up a locking system which is that switch, which is basically that when it's off it won't crush, it won't do anything, and when it's on it will crush, and it will do everything and set the water out and everything else that I need. So the first problem became though, of course, I put the lever there, and of course, when the water comes down, it washes everything away. Which actually, this one right here should be this instead. There we go. It's better. You can see there's a piston right there. But yeah, basically the water would come down and wash this all away. So how do I prevent that? By building myself a wall. And the way I did that was basically just that, as you saw, there's one piston here, which when I flick this, like I said, it unlocks the system and allows me to put the water everywhere, of course. But how am I going to stop from coming around the corner? Well, the solution was kind of simple, to just block it off. So as you see, the water now pours down. You can see it's right there, and it's still going. There's water behind me as well. This whole area is flooded, except for, of course, this little section here, which I'm going to probably do something else about later, not right now. And the other thing is, when I step off of the pressure plate, the water shuts off, which was a little bit more tricky to set up. And as you can see, I also had to have the water completely gone before these pistons moved, otherwise it would still wash away that. So I set up a simple system, and I'm going to show you that. I'm also going to deactivate this so I don't activate anything by accident. So let's start down at the bottom. So in here, this is where the pressure plate is right there. So basically there's two signals. One, which is the lock, which is this one here that you guys see. And it basically just sends a signal to, this is a piston underneath here. And when this piston extends, it allows the redstone signal from the pressure plate to go through the block and activate this redstone here, which is just on the other side of this. Now this one here goes all the way up to where the dispensers are. Now this one here, this is a comparator pulse extender that extends it for like 7 seconds or something right now, which goes all the way over to the pistons, which is there's one behind the stair, and the other one is in the floor, if I can ever get out of here. Go over here. So when I step on the pressure plate, those pop into place and they block that area. So that's good. And the other thing was just, making sure the pulse extender was long enough so that the water disappeared before before the pistons went down. Next was, there was the problem that when you use dispensers, if you step on the pressure plate, it sends out a signal and the dispenser will dispense the water. But when you step off of the pressure plate, it doesn't stop dispensing the water, it just continues. So I had to figure out a way to stop the water and shut the dispenser off when I step off the pressure plate. Now this was a whole nother challenge in itself, and it actually led me to come up with a new circuit, or what I think is a new circuit. Don't quote me on it because it could be wrong, somebody could have made it before, but I couldn't personally find anything else on the internet that helped me in the way that I wanted to do this. So I managed to come up with this small contraption here. Now this whole thing, this little tiny spot, is actually what controls the dispensers here, because like I say, normally they would only turn on and then you get off the pressure plate and it stops. But what it's doing now is that signal that comes up from way at the bottom from the pressure plate, what happens is there's no delay here, so it activates the piston before it hits the redstone here. So then the block is moved over to here, and this redstone that is being powered goes through the block, of course, and goes and activates all of the dispensers like they normally would. But the difference is, when you step off of the pressure plate, this is the first thing that gets depowered. So this block retracts like it is now, so this loses power for a very brief moment, just enough time for the delay of this one to have powered this one instead, which sends out a quick pulse signal all the way out back around the whole circuit to every single dispenser again. So when you step on it, it sends a pulse to turn them on, and it stays on because you're constantly powering it. And then when you get off, everything retracts. The signal can then pass through very momentarily, just enough time to once again reactivate the dispensers to shut them off. Otherwise, when you get off the pressure plate, everything just turns off and the dispensers just keep spraying water everywhere, and that's no good, because then I would have the pistons would pull away from the floor and I'd have water just flowing in everywhere and it would ruin everything. And to be honest, it took a really long time to figure all this out. I even made a little tutorial on how to make that the actual dispenser setup. I'm not really sure what to call it. I named it like a dispenser pressure plate dispenser on-off switch, something like that. So that's really what it is. It's being able to use a pressure plate as an on-off switch when you get on and get off, and that's the way that I figured out how to use it, and it seems to work fine for me. Like I said, perfect example again. It's not doing anything. The Endermen are not being crushed. I switch it. Another reason too, people are probably going to ask, why did I have this block here? Well, one reason is just because it's beside the lever that it activates, but it's also a reminder for me, because then I know, oh, okay, the system is turned on, I should be careful, otherwise, I might just forget it there, or it's something like, oh, okay, don't forget that, and I can turn it off and make sure, because if an Enderman drops, he might, or teleport, or somehow end up on the pressure plate, and that could cause problems. Once again, I'll do one last demonstration. So I'm there, and it is crushing the Enderman. Now, just in case any of them decide that they want to spawn, even if they do teleport to somewhere they shouldn't, they will most likely teleport into the water and either get killed, or they will teleport to the nearest area that they're able to, which is actually way up top again or back inside the grinder area. So they really have no option. And like I said, this does not reach me. I'm still on the pressure plate. I get off. This area is still fine, and you can see the water runs out, and then the pistons drop, and everything is back to normal. Like in the way, you can turn it off again, go back on, and nothing happens. So it's perfect. I'm really happy with it. I'm surprised, actually. It's taken a lot of hours just to figure out, for example, that one thing. I ended up going into a new testing creative world where I'm starting to build like little redstone contraptions, I guess, and trying to figure out things like that. So this is my first one, is figuring out how to turn on and off a dispenser with just a pressure plate. Like, on is on and off is off, because normally that's not how it works when you use pressure plates with dispensers. So I'm happy that I was able to figure that out. And now the Enderman Farm is pretty much, it actually is finished, really. Other than, obviously, I need to work on this tunnel, but that's one of those things that I'll do over time when I get some more quartz. I may also block off, like, this small area here that doesn't end up with water. I might not block it off, but I'll make it so that it's 3 tall, or I'll make it fancy in some way that I can stop them. As well as I have to go up top, and I have to get a new endermite, because they somehow keep killing him. I'll have to figure out another way to do that. Maybe I can put it 1 block higher, and maybe that'll stop it. Like, I'll have to do a couple more tests and see what happens, make sure they can't reach him or anything. Because I'm thinking what's happening now is they're probably just standing, very rarely, they're probably standing on top of that, and then they reach in and kill him. But if I can maybe make it 1 block higher so they can't see. But the thing is, it's right at their head level, so I don't know if it's higher than them, will they still go after it? So that'll be its own test. You can see sometimes they'll just randomly walk into it, but it's a lot more effective when they're chasing the endermite. So I'm going to have to go get some more name tags by fishing or whatever, and then I can put another endermite in there and things should be okay. But I think that's good for this episode. I managed to get, like I said, I got the Enderman Farm all pretty much ready, and it looks nice now, and it's effective, it works. I got everything I need from it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this too, of course. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the farm, the design, anything like that. Anything I should change at all. Some tips and tricks or whatever. What you think of my new little water system. You can also use it for lava. And in the tutorial, I give a really good reason for you guys to use it. For example, that if this was all lava, or you could make a secret wall that's completely made of lava, and then you stand on the pressure plate and it turns off, you can run through, and then it automatically closes itself up behind you with the lava, so you could hide from your friends, or they could get trapped behind you, or anything like that. Works with water and lava, and probably whatever else you want to have the dispensers do. So once again, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you think. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.